So, Focus Home Interactive, who are the people that are making Space Marine 2, have come out and said that there are going to be no microtransactions within the game. We get a game, and that is it. This is probably one of the biggest breakthroughs in the gaming industry in the last 10 years, and surprisingly, well, we're breaking through back to what was the standard before. You know what? I cannot wait for Space Marine 2, and they've just released their official PvE trailer, which of course means there will be co-op within this game. That was something that I just really missed within the first game. You know, the 2012 classic Warhammer 40k Space Marine. It was great, sure, fighting enemies and destroying orcs, but not having co-op? Well, I think this is where Space Marine 2 is going to really shine. Saber Interactive have done a fantastic job with this, and Focus Home obviously being the publishers. They are creating the perfect game for any Warhammer 40k fan. I mean, look how cool these guys look. Oh my god, and these are you and your mates playing together, slicing through hordes. I mean, I was going to say like a Left 4 Dead kind of style, and it kind of will be, but probably because of the third person and very gory horde aspect. Do you remember that game World War Z, when you had those hordes of zombies that would like clamber on top of each other and had the coolest zombie physics in the world? I think we're going to get some similar stuff. 6 classes to play and upgrade. But of course, they're all going to be upgrades that happen within the game. As I was saying with the hordes, it's probably going to be close to that sort of World War Z. Tyranids clambering over each other and trying to get to you. So we've got full customization, so you can choose to be, I don't know, the Ultramarines or the wolves or the frosted, the green ones, or the different chapters of Space Marines that I really remember from all my very good Space Marine lore. Don't get me wrong, I love this stuff, but there is just so much to get delved into. But you can tell that the people behind Space Marine 2 are in love with this franchise. Look at the detail on this chainsaw. We've got the bionic arm, of course, as well. Moving through these missions, complete blood and gore. This is a screen that we've actually seen in a trailer before, but look at this. Hold on. So we're going to be fighting potentially, well, that looked like a dreadnought. We've got Tyranids here, and no idea what the dragon is. But if we go back to some of the gameplay that was actually shown before, this gets us a good look of what the single player portion is going to be, and you can see the difference in scale between an Ultramarine and an Imperial Guard, and this was something that I absolutely loved within the first game. You can just see how huge these guys are. Titus is going to be played by the guy that plays Rolo in Vikings. It was Mark Strong in the first game. It's not in the second one, but I still think they're going to do a fantastic job. They did like a behind the scenes video a while ago of him talking about this world and how much passion is behind it, and that is translated so well. I mean, look at this game. Is this not one of the most beautiful things you've ever seen in your life? The texture detail, and this is gameplay. I mean, look at the cloth on the side of this. And moving through these missions, you can see the work that's been put into lighting and really getting you within the atmosphere of this game. Now, if we skip forward on this trailer, we get to some of the combat, and this is where, of course, the Imperial Guards are running away because they're not as powerful as us as an Ultramarine. And maybe this is actually some co-op gameplay, because there are actually 2 Space Marines here. You can do your vast array of melee and ranged takedowns as well, picking up your chainsword or just stomping on people. You can see the Imperial Guard there fighting alongside. They just look absolutely tiny compared to these boys, and it is insane. Now, blood and gore is going to be a huge factor, but the reason that I wanted to make this video is because of the new trailers that have come out and a few new screenshots, because it is open for pre-orders. Now, even though a game is so hyped like this, and a game that I want more than anything else, would I still recommend you pre-order it? I'm not entirely sure. I still think it's like a risky move, but Saber Interactive have made some fantastic titles in the past. In fact, if we look at the pedigree of Saber Interactive, it's not all that bad. So, you've got games like Teardown, which are absolutely fantastic, and I didn't even realize that they were the people that were behind World War Z. Do you know the game that I said it was probably like? Well, yeah, the Saber Interactive. I mean, SnowRunner. Insurgency Sandstorm is one of my favorite games, but it's not exactly related to this style. But World War Z, I think, is probably going to be the best indicator to the way that this game is going, because it is published and developed. And whilst it didn't have the best reviews in terms of the combat and in terms of the simulation of the zombies, it is second to none Okay, maybe Days Gone comes pretty close, but we get to see a few more of these screenshots here. Of course, we have our chainsword ultramarine fighting the Tyranids. Looks absolutely gorgeous. We've got a bolt gun in our left hand as well, and the citadel behind looks absolutely fantastic. And here we can see a good look at the customization. This is going to be your players, your co-op friends, and whilst you'll be able to play the single player, of course you will, PvE is going to become, well, a big point in this. So we've got our power fists here, we've got our bolt gun, we've got our shields, las gun. Oh my god, my Warhammer lore is just so out of whack. Yeah, I haven't touched it for years now. And this goddamn thing, plasma sword, is beautiful. I cannot wait. Okay, so that's what we saw in the trailers. It looks like that there will be fighting against some Khorne or Chaos Space Marines as well. We've got a Plague Marine in the back as well. Oh my god, I didn't even realize this was a part of it. And you know what? This might be a shout, but does this mean that we're going to get some sort of multiplayer variant to the game? Because sure, this could be just fighting against the enemy. This could just be fighting against AI enemy and, you know, playing with our co-op. But it would make sense if you had a multiplayer variant of Space Marine 2, where you had one side as the Ultramarines, the other side as Chaos Space Marines, because of course a few chapters went over to the dark side and they became things like Khorne and the Plague Marines as well, having very similar arms and armor, and it would make for a fair and even fight. But they look absolutely fantastic. Now, don't get me wrong, I think this is probably less of a gameplay screenshot and more just a piece of art, but yeah, this is all gameplay screenshots that we've seen before, and it's nice that we now have them in full resolution because they're up on the Steam page that is once again open for pre-orders. Embody the superhuman skill and brutality of a Space Marine, unleash deadly abilities and devastating weaponry to obliterate the relentless Tyranid swarms in third-person action in solo or multiplayer modes, which makes me think we're going to be getting more than just co-op, which makes me think that this is maybe part of a multiplayer game mode within Space Marine 2. So the community updates have come out, and this is where we got the trailer, and this is where we got to see some of these multiplayer modes. Well, the trailer that we saw before. But it is only just teasing so far. Hold on, I've actually not seen this before. Space Marine 2 offers 3 game modes. The campaign mode, okay, that's where we play as Titus. That's what we got in the initial Space Marine as well, where we can play in solo or co-op up to 2 friends. An operations mode in which you'll pick one of the 6 available classes and work in a team to defeat various Xeno abominations. Okay, so I'm guessing that that's going to be more like a World War Z kind of thing. This PvE mode takes parallel to the campaign as you get to play along your own customized Space Marine. Nice. And Eternal War, there we go. Chaos and Experium will clash chainswords once again in intense 6v6 multiplayer battles. That is going to be interesting. I thought it looked like that from the screenshots, and I'm so glad that they're going to head that direction. Can you guess that I haven't read this developer update so far? There's going to be so much coming on soon, and I cannot wait to see more of it. And guys, I was so happy for a second, but we do have a season pass. So if you pre-order, you get a pre-order bonus. If you then pre-order the gold edition, you get a 4-day early unlock. And then you get the Ultramarines Champion packs. Now, that's not... Oh my god, that looks so cool. Is that the collector's edition? Look at that. I mean... I feel like I kind of have to get that. That is gorgeous. So there are DLCs that are coming out unplanned, and whilst we talk about there not being any microtransactions, I still think this is just kind of getting a way around it. I'm not particularly happy about that. They also say in the same sentence that any paid DLCs will be purely cosmetics. So what exactly are microtransactions in this case? I think it's just a way of getting around the use of microtransactions. Saying that there are no microtransactions whilst releasing cosmetic DLCs is kind of 2 sides of the same coin, if I'm going to be honest. So that's not all that ideal. We've got a fuck ton of more information about the game, and I'm very happy the way it's looking. I think they're doing a fantastic job with the look. I think they've definitely got it right in terms of the lore and the feel of Space Marine 2. But I guess we're going to have to find out what all this is with the DLCs and microtransactions, because there's a lot of questions up in the air. I thought it all seemed well and done that this was going to be a positive spin and a new era of multiplayer games, but it seems that that's not entirely the case. This is something I'm looking forward to.